on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to talk about how much space does an avoidant need when they take a break away from the relationship, and if they call it a break, because when an avoidant ghosts you, they're not gonna warn you what they're doing. They're just gonna disappear. That's what ghosting is. But if you're familiar with their habits and the way they do things in a pattern throughout the relationship, you know that they will be back. And it comes a time when you kind of start to learn different ways to deal with the avoidant and how to communicate and how not to communicate with them, when to reach out and when not to reach out to them during the silence and distance in between. And that's all up to you if you choose to continue your relationship with your avoidant partner, because it takes a lot of patience in knowing that there are so many different ways of dealing with a person who's constantly pulling away from you when you know you didn't deserve it. Because it's going to start to make you feel like you're being punished in comparison to being in a relationship with a narcissist partner. And when they give you the silent treatment, they are punishing you. Whereas with a avoidant partner, they're not punishing you, they're taking a break for them. This is when they need to kind of reset and refresh and regroup themselves. And they have to do it with time and distance in between from their partner. Sadly, it comes to that, but that's what you're dealing with an avoidant. And again, it's up to you if you want to continue the relationship with them. So in this video, I just kind of want to talk about, like, how much space do they need? Well, the space kind of depends on how you respond to them. Now, it depends on how long they want to take a break, because you can't force anybody to open up and come back to, just return back to the relationship like nothing ever happened. And you shouldn't, because they should want to talk about what made them feel like they needed a break. But it's like you have to take baby steps with an avoidant partner and approach them real delicately by letting them know that you understand where they're coming from. But at the same time, at what cost? Because will they ever acknowledge your feelings, your emotions, and your needs in a relationship? I've been studying a lot about avoidance and different type of avoidance and how to respond to their behavior when they go silent on you and disappear, just abandon their relationship. Because that's what it is. I mean, you can sugarcoat it and call it anything just to kind of baby them in a situation, but they're adults and they know what they're doing. What they do is take a mental break away from their responsibilities and the expectations of the relationship. When they kind of feel like, too much is coming down on them, when you're expecting a little bit too much of them, they start to feel too responsible for you. And it's like you have to remind them what a relationship is, what a partnership is. You require so much from your partner, and the same in return. It's like it's a given. It's something that should already be understood going into the partnership. But when it comes to an avoidant, those things they miss in the beginning, because you're both so caught up in the moment, and you're at the part of a relationship where you're just so into each other that you don't think about talking about those things. Like, nobody talks about that, whenever getting a new relationship with somebody. And maybe some people do. But when it comes to the avoidant and them, like, taking a break away from their relationship, it does show a selfish side of them. But there is an explanation to their behavior. And again, it goes back to whatever has happened in their past and their upbringing, them as a child, whatever they went through as a child. It's a root cause to the way they act in their adulthood in a relationship. And it doesn't excuse it. But when you think about, well, how long is this going to happen? When you start to realize, okay, this is becoming a pattern and this has to stop. It have to be a better way for us to deal with things other than you just disappearing. You're going to have that conversation with them. But you have to let them know, I'm on your side. I'm not up against you. And I'm not being critical. I am just asking more of you. And you both have to be on the same page when it comes to that. And again, it puts the avoidant in a position to feel like they're responsible for you. And they should be. So, how to respond to the space that they need? You reach out to them. You make sure that they're okay. And when they're not responding, don't push it. Don't keep asking, are you okay? Why are you doing this to me? And I know sometimes we get in our feelings and emotions by right and demand an answer because, first of all, why are you doing this? Are we children or are we adults? But with an avoidant, it's they will come back, but they'll come back when you walk away and just let them be. And when they come back, trust and believe they're going to come back on a whole nother level, speaking of things that has nothing to do with where you left off. They may tell you how something is coming along great for them that they've been dealing with. But they will avoid the conversation that needs to be talked about in the relationship. And so this is when you have to find effective communication skills to let them know this will not be avoided. We will not, just sweep it under the rug and pretend like there's not an issue. You're going to have to find ways to communicate with them to let them know that your feelings matter in order to keep going in the relationship, that there are going to have to be changes. And I learned through experience that you cannot be pushy. You have to have patience if you want to continue the relationship with the avoidant. And I'm not even advising, encouraging anyone to do so. But if you feel like it's worth saving your relationship with your partner, you have to learn effective communication skills. That's basically what this entire video is about. I just want to give y'all some tips on how to communicate with your avoidant when they say they need this break away from you. Because first you have to take these baby steps and letting them know that you're still there, you're concerned about them, and you're not angry. Because you don't have to be angry while they need the break. But I understand why you will be angry, especially depending on the terms of when they decided to take this break, when you probably really, really needed them for something. You were counting on them for something, and they should have been there. Now, if you feel like your avoidant partner has the potential to meet your needs, then maybe it is worth working on. Maybe they're worth waiting for. And so while waiting for them, again, check on them. Be patient, be gentle, take baby steps, and continue to give them that space. And occupy your time doing other things like you would normally do if they hadn't, took the break. If they weren't taking a break, continue to do as normal. Because if you run behind them and kind of force them to respond to why are you doing this? You're going to push them further away. Maybe they do need that time away to refocus, refresh, and reset. Maybe they are kind of self-reflecting and trying to find ways to work on them and fix the things that they are just realizing are broken. and you have to allow them that space to do so. So there's really no time frame in how long the avoidant needs a break. But as long as you are able to give them that space in between without crowding them and letting them know, you got so much time to let me know what's going on, or it's over, or something like that. Because if it's going to be over, it's just going to be over. They're avoidance for a reason. They don't care. They're really not going to fight for you and run behind you. But if you do want to have a better relationship with them, you're just going to have to come up with the skills to deal with it. And I've been doing my own little research and studying it and everything, which I went through it, but I just didn't know the terms. I just didn't know what they call it. But I've already experienced that and figured it out, through trial and error myself, with my own avoidant partner at the time, that I felt like, there is a reason why I don't feel like this is worth just giving up. Sometimes things are worth fighting for and waiting on. So you just have to ask yourself that. Only you know the answer to that. If you were to compare them to a narcissist, they're going to give you the silent treatment until you change for them. There will be no ultimatums. It's just not going to change in your favor. The chances of that happen is 0 to none. It's not going to happen. Yes, they will return back to you, but they're not going to change. So it's just like you're wasting your time constantly pointing out things in a relationship with a narc partner, because first of all, they already know these things. They get a kick out of seeing you constantly pining behind them for a change that they're not gonna give you, because they just don't care. They will even turn around and punish you again because you're pushing this issue of what needs to change. But a person have to have self-awareness in order to even begin to take the steps to change. They have to want the change that you even want for them, but they should want it more for themselves. That goes for anybody, a narcissist, an avoidant, an attached person, a self-aware person. It goes all the way around. So hopefully this video is helpful to anyone who's wondering, so how long am I supposed to wait for them to finish taking this break? Because at one time I used to say that I don't believe in breaks, but it kind of depends. It all depends on, the reason why your partner or yourself need to take a break, and if you really feel like your relationship is worth fighting for. So thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below, and I will talk to you soon.